Knockout legends in the building. Like, comment and subscribe. So today I'm going to talk about the fight that was on Saturday, the Spence versus Terence Crawford undisputed fight. I was initially going to do a post-fight review, but I've kind of done a live round by round commentary already, and I did a post-fight interview review as well. So this is more based off I'm going to talk about the skill set that both fighters brought to the actual fight, and I'm going to talk about how basically one style was one way and another style was another way, basically opposing. But Spence, a lot of people will say that he beat the brakes off Errol Spence Jr., and he did. We already know that why obviously PBC didn't want them to fight, and why it took so long to get the fight. Obviously people say styles make fights, and in this actual instance they did. But I'm going to talk about two things. One had a southpaw pressure offence style versus a southpaw defence counterpunching style. Now, Errol Spence's style is a pressure style, but he uses inches and inches to gain ground, but then he hits the body and then he attacks the head. And this relentless drive, coupled with a high guard and coupled with his size, basically bulldozes other opponents. But then when you come up against somebody who's got a southpaw defensive counterpunching style, who can move and can do everything that you do, and can also bully you and wrestle you, and also press you and fight in the pocket, you find yourself at basically a stalemate. But then the thing what ends up happening is a multitude of things kind of exposes, if you've only got one style or one way of doing things, if you can't adjust quick enough, then you are behind. So I don't think it's that Errol Spence was just totally inequipped. I think his adjustments to the way Crawford fought were just totally behind, and he couldn't keep up with Crawford's thinking brain. It's like Usain Bolt, when he's dominating the 100 meters, he knows when to turn the gears up within the first, 20-30 meters of the race. Even if he has a bad start, he knows how to adjust his body to switch up, to get the aerodynamics, to get his stride, get his pace, his length, get his body upright, get his arms pumping, to just power past everyone. And then once we get into the last 20 meters of the race, you can see he's already pulling ahead of the pack and he's about to cross the finish line. Then he gets to the finish line and he's just well ahead of everyone, and it might only be a couple of seconds ahead of everyone, or inches ahead, but he's still ahead. And the point I'm trying to make is if we had saw more of Errol Spence applying more adaptability in his style and in his boxing style, and instead of it just being one specific way, then he may have had a chance against Crawford. But the funny thing is Crawford showed him the ultimate respect. What a lot of people don't realise is he didn't switch. Normally he switches just to see if that kind of look with the fighter is easy. But when he knows that you're a good fighter, he pays you and he respects you, he either switches to southpaw or he just starts in southpaw, which is what he did. He started in southpaw. It was just two southpaws fighting each other. So already he just negated the lead hand and he just used his superior attributes, which was his range, his timing, his speed, his movement, his feet, and basically he just nullified everything that Errol Spence was doing. But in the first round, Errol Spence was having success, and he was actually winning the round. But once he got dropped, remember what I said about Sean Porter, saying that when he caught him with, I think it was a catch-pull counter, Errol's face dropped. That is basically something to do with the actual psyche of the fighter, where it affects the way he fights. So if he can get flustered, which is probably what he was the whole way through, the whole build up to the fight, he was just flustered. We always kept seeing the flusteredness, even though he seemed like he come across as calm and, you know, his quips coming back. I think he wasted too much energy, especially with the fans, trying to convince everyone that he was going to beat Terence Crawford, when deep down in his heart he knew he had a chance, but the chance wasn't that big. And maybe he knew himself that at that weight he may have one more last chance at a bite of the cherry, which is what he tried to do when he rolled the dice, but he didn't. And to be fair, Derek James is a great trainer, you know, trainer of the year, whatever. He's got all these great fighters in his stable and he's teaching other people good things and stuff. But for a Buddhist and somebody to be so-called, I don't know, a calm person and like an enlightened person, he didn't really protect his fighter. And I kind of felt sorry for Errol Spence, because he took a lot of punishment. He took punishment for basically, I reckon, 2 more rounds. He shouldn't have gone to the 9th round, but he wanted the fight eventually. He circled back round, and this was the only fight what was going to make him the amount of money that he needed to make to actually be what he wanted to be. He was chasing what he wanted to be. So, and he knew he would have to fight Terence at some point, because the fans would have demanded it. He said he was going to do it, and he had to do it, and it was a cash out fight. We all know it was a cash out fight. Yeah, if he can get another bite of the cherry at a weight where he's bigger, where he might have an advantage, that's on him. But it was actually a cash out fight, and we waited all this time to circle all the way around to finally fight Crawford. And what can anyone say about Crawford? All the stuff they said about him, he's disproved it. He's disproved it. He's just threw it in the trash. Top Rank threw them in the trash. All the Errol Spence fans threw them in the trash. All the reporters that didn't believe in him threw them in the trash. So all the people that he beat, Ricky Burns, Ndongo, Victor Pascal, all these other people, Gamboa, what has anyone got to say about all that now? Nothing. Because you can see when he wins all the fights that he's won, at the weight classes that he's won, and all the hard fights that he's had, how much it means to him. So you know it's not something he takes lightly, and these people weren't just easy people to beat. So for all the people that didn't give him his dues and didn't give him his credit, shame on you, man. The guy is and will be recognised as a knockout legend. Total class. So, what do you think of the fight on the weekend? And do you agree with my comments? Hit the notification bell for more content like this. And like, comment and subscribe. And that is another one from Knockout Legends. Peace.